Hello and welcome to another live from me. I'm Lucy Brand, founder of the Mystic Ministry and the Central Supper Club and lucy-brand.com. And I believe the world needs more empowered, wealthy, turned on female leaders. And I support you in doing just that, in blasting through your blocks, clearing through all the old stories and the I'm not good enough, so that you can go to the level that you want to and create the life that you desire and are so deserving of. Which is really aligned to what I'm going to be speaking about today. So today I'm going to be talking about how I faced my fear to heal my life and free myself from the past. So if you don't know me or you're new to my work, then a very long time ago, in my 20s, not that long ago, I guess, I experienced a traumatic burglary. And this had an impact, a massive, massive impact on every area of my life. Not just in business, but also my personal life. And the thing is, with trauma, it's really interesting. I find it interesting as well. Anyway, that it can pop up at times in your life when you think you may have dealt with it. So there was a time in my life where sort of 3 years into my marriage, things were becoming a problem, and it was a result of the burglary. And when things like this happen, I just look at it as like, it means that it's time to heal that part, to let go of that part, because it's coming up to the surface. If you're getting triggered by something, it means that it's coming up to the surface to be healed, which is actually a really beautiful thing, because it means that on all levels, I would say, your mind, your body, your energy is ready to let go of that experience, especially if it's not been a positive one for you. So with my own story, what I had to deal with when just trying to move forward. So the first time, actually, in fact, I didn't really want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with a burglary at all. I was in a box, put away, and I didn't want to talk about it. I couldn't talk about it. It was too traumatic. I couldn't let my mind go there. And I also suffered memory loss from the burglary. So the last point that I remembered, and then there's like a gap in my knowledge. I've got it now because I've uncovered that memory. We unlocked it from my mind, if you like, because my body remembered, because your body remembers everything. It's your mind that twists things or locks it away so that you can't access it, whereas your body will remember. And then there's a gap, and then another bit. And so it was actually my husband. One evening, I was just getting really upset about something again. I don't recall what it was, but I think it was probably about a window being not locked, or the front door not being double locked, or because you have to remember, I was super, super paranoid. Like the slightest things would trigger me. I was very paranoid. I was very scared. Even though we lived in a different place now, and I didn't live in London anymore, and I didn't really understand why I was behaving like this as well. I hadn't brought my awareness to the situation because it was too painful. So it was probably something like that. The window hadn't been locked, and I just freaked out in case something could happen because of my experience being burgled. And my husband turned around to me and said, "Lucy, I think you need to see someone." And because I was defensive, I was on the defense, and I didn't want to deal with my stuff. I didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to keep it in a tight box locked away. I retaliated with, "Well, I think you need to see someone." Not one of my finest moments. And he said, "Well, okay, I will." And I thought, oh no. Those weren't my exact words. I don't want to share what my exact words were, but it meant that I had to deal with it, because if he was going to deal with it, that meant I had to deal with my stuff. I couldn't just put it under the carpet anymore. I couldn't just ignore it anymore. And so through a friend of a friend who was practiced in EFT and NLP, I think, among some other things, because I'm going back several years. I had a chat with them, went to see them, and we had this initial conversation. And back then I didn't quite realize that how this would change my life. Like, not only would it change my life on a personal level, but then I would start sharing it with the world. And EFT, emotional freedom technique, would be a practice that I talk about constantly because of how life-changing it can be. But so also how this would be an aspect of my business now, you know, and that kind of happens with healers. It's your own healing journey. And I talk a lot about this with my private clients. It's not about the qualifications. It really isn't about the qualifications. It's about your life experiences, because if you're going to be getting vulnerable and honest and raw and real with yourself, first and foremost, which is so challenging sometimes, the person you want with you is the person that understands, sees, gets it, and has maybe had similar experiences themselves. So they can help you. They're like, got your hand and being like, come this way. Like, like your experience is going to be different from mine, but I've got this, like I've done this. And helping other people through, that's what I do. So it is about experience. It's not about the qualifications. And so in this world, anyway, so basically I had a meeting and it seemed good, but I didn't realize back then how powerful EFT was. I didn't even know what it was, to be fair. I think I just rocked up. Because it works on your mind and your body and an energetic level, that's why it's so powerful, because it's a holistic approach. It's not just working on your mind, and you're not just telling the same stories to yourself, repeating them over and over again, which means that you're stuck in the same patterns because you're telling the same story. Yeah, you shift your story on a mind, body, and energetic level. And when you do that, you can release the past and you can move forward. You can change your life because the whole of you is in alignment. So I remember the first session, I was so nervous. I was so scared because I thought, what if the demons that are inside me, the demons that were in my mind that were telling me that I was this horrible person, that, you know, like, well, I kind of really didn't like myself at that point. I didn't hate myself anymore, but I wasn't much higher up the scale than that. And I just remember cycling to my appointment and just thinking, I was so terrified, because I was like, what if it's all true? What if it's all true, these stories that I tell myself, that I'm this horrible person, that no one's going to like me, my husband's not going to want to stay with me, because if I face my fears, then I realize that I'm just horrible, like I'm this really horrible person. And and I remember it was terrifying. And then I had to go because I'd paid for it, and my marriage was on the line. Not that it was really on the line, we were very much in love, but like, it was that I couldn't keep doing this to him anymore. I couldn't keep doing it to myself. And that's the thing with our marriage, our relationship. It's always been him reflecting back to me the love that he sees in me, and it's that's propelled me to always do the healing work. From when it comes to myself and my relationships, it actually took someone else to nudge me rather than me doing it for myself. So I have a huge amount of like respect for anyone that does this kind of work, you know, faces their fears, because I know how terrifying it can be. But also, if you face your fears off your own back, you know, because you do it yourself rather than being nudged by someone else, which is what I was doing. And I remember the first session was fine. It was fine. It wasn't scary, but it was pretty terrifying. Those first few months, I had EFT pretty much every week for 3 years. And the reason why I feel like I mean, I did have maybe a couple of months off here and there when I thought I'd healed and let go, but then something would trigger me and I would be back. And the thing was, it wasn't EFT's fault that I didn't heal from the experience, the burglary. It was more because of the memory loss, because you need the root cause of something. You need to understand or know why you're behaving that way, or why you're doing that thing, why you're having these thoughts. And because I had memory loss and I didn't quite know what happened, it confused things. So I could never quite get to the root cause. I could get to sort of to maybe nearly the root cause, but never the root cause. So when I did, because I saw it all in another deep healing session, then it was gone. Like, and now I'm so free. Like, I remember just after that session just crying tears of joy because I was free, finally free of him, free of the past, and I just knew my life was never going to be the same again. And it wasn't. It isn't. It was amazing. And so one of the things I would suggest is, if you are scared, that can be a good thing, because you really are love and light. That is all there is. No matter what you've done, we've all made mistakes. We've all, got things wrong in the past. But at the core of it, you're love and light. And it's about getting back to that love and light, remembering, awakening to who you truly are and how powerful you are. And that's where the deep healing, the cellular level healing work comes in. And the only thing I could say, this is what I say to all my clients, is just that you are love and light. You are worthy and deserving. And you've just got to know that on the other side, like, keep following the light, keep following the spark of love and light within you, because I promise you, on the other side of the healing, that's your wildest dreams fulfilled. That's your miracles, especially if you've had something haunting you for years and impacting your life for years. The other side is just incredible. It really is. Like, I'm living proof it is. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And so I just feel that taking that first step to freeing yourself, facing that fear, is just the biggest gift that you can give yourself. It really is the biggest gift. And if you are scared, like, everyone is on that first step. But once you've done it, even just the decision sometimes, or taking that first step, booking an appointment, or taking that first step and showing up to the first one. I did have one session where I've probably been having sessions for maybe 9 months, nearly a year, and I was cycling to the place that hadn't changed where I get my sessions done, and my memory blanked. I couldn't remember where this lady's office was. I was like, oh my gosh, where is it? And I remember I was sat by the side of the road for 5 minutes, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Just, I could not remember where I had to go, even though I'd nearly done it for a year. That's how powerful the mind is. It was like, nope, I'm going to self-sabotage you. And that's what can happen in the beginning, when you start to look at your stuff and really shine a light inwards, or when you shine a light on something, it's no longer in the dark. When you bring it into the light, you can get a proper look at it and be like, okay, that needs to change. But when it comes into the light, it heals it, because it no longer has a hold over you, which the darkness does, which the not knowing does. And then, then I had to get my phone out and find out where the office was. So I just couldn't remember. I could not remember for the life of me. And that's the thing, the mind, when you first start working on stuff like this, stuff's going to come up. It will. Things will change. So if you decide to work on your money mindset, and then all of a sudden it's like you get a parking ticket, or you get fined or something like that, you're like, what? I've just started working on my stuff. It's because you're kicking up all the stuff all the stuff for it to be healed. So it's actually a blessing, because then it comes up, you can then look at it, you can heal it with love, and then let it go. Say goodbye and move on to a whole new level. Sometimes you didn't even realize was possible for yourself. That's what happened with me. And that's what I want for you. If you feel it's time to heal your stuff, if you feel ready to go to the next level, whatever that might look like for you, and it doesn't even have to be a big trauma like mine, like the burglary. It doesn't have to be something like that. It could just be a desire to want to change your life in some way, in some small way. Then I would love to support you with that. I would love to help you. If you want, just head on over to my website, lucy-brand.com, or in the description to this video, you'll see I've co-created a membership called Circle Light Movement Membership with the lovely Natasha, and we are helping you to grow and heal and transform parts of your life which are maybe not how you would like them to be, through EFT, like one of the things that I talk about, and also other healing modalities like Akashic Records and light language, and just loads of different, we've got so many healing modalities that we've collected over the years, and some have worked for us and some haven't, but we will share them all with you, because this is your life and you get to choose what works and what resonates and what doesn't. So yeah, if you're interested in that, then please check out the description, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And just know that you're never alone. Like, you really are never alone. If you could sense and feel what I sense and feel, I know there's a whole entourage of people around me right now that are not visible to this camera, but I can feel them, I can see them, I can sense them, and they're always with me, supporting me. And it'll be the same with you. It's exactly the same with you. And just being brave and taking that first step, because you're so worth it. You're so worth it. I promise you that. And you are worth the freedom on the other side. All right, my darlings, I'm sending you so much love, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.